In today's video, we're going to talk about your perfect waist range. So if you've been chasing a weight loss goal, we're going to move you away from the weight-centric approach and we're going to move you over to your waist-centric approach. Now, if you're new here, my name is Shannon from Shannon Billows Fitness, and I'm here to make weight loss as easy and simple as possible. So if you enjoy these kind of videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, before we get into the minor details of this, the main goal for anyone losing weight is to make yourself healthier and also be proud of the shape and fitness that you've achieved. Now, when you're very first starting out, most people usually have a weight loss goal, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but weight loss doesn't always correlate with the image that the person has in their head when they've decided they wanted to start losing weight in the first place. It also doesn't clarify what your end result is going to look like. How do you even know if that weight loss is even achievable for yourself? So we are now moving away from the weight approach and we're moving into the waist-centric approach. Now, we know for a fact that the more body fat that you carry, more specifically around the waist, the more unhealthy it is for you. When you carry too much body fat around your waist, you're putting yourself at risk of some serious health issues down the line. Now, this can range from diabetes, cardiovascular disease, various cancers. But on the flip side, also being too lean also has its own complications as well. If you are too low in weight and specifically body fat, your sex hormones can drop quite dramatically too. And women can also lose their menstrual cycle, which is one thing we absolutely want to avoid at all costs. This tends to happen in the fitness industry, more in the competing area. So if you're a semi or professional bodybuilder, or if you're competing on stage, this tends to happen quite a lot from dramatically low body fat and extreme low calorie diet. So how do we know if we are carrying too much body fat? Research indicates a waist size above 50% of your height indicates an increased risk of health issues. If your waist drops below 50% of your height, we know that your health markers significantly improve. And at least some research indicates that there are further improvements if you drop below 46% of your height. Now, for men, what we tend to use is a waist ratio of 50% of your waist circumference to your height. And then for women, we use a waist circumference of 46% of your height. Now, where you take your waist measurement is going to depend on whether you're male or you're female. For men, we're going to be measuring around the lowest portion of your waist, around the belly button. And then for women, we're going to be measuring around your small waist, just below your ribs, and then just above your hips. Now, this is your first target for health. If you want to be a lean, healthy individual, this is what you're going to be achieving first. Once you've achieved this, you can then continue leaning down to the point whereby you're happy. But we also have some numbers that we want you to keep in mind when you are leaning down further. Now, for men, to get very close to around 10% body fat, we want your lower waist to be around 44% of your height. Now, if you're a female, your small waist is going to correlate very closely to about 38% of your height. Now, these are your healthy waist ranges. Now, what I do want to emphasize is you don't absolutely need to get to your lowest waist target. These are ranges for specific reasons. So we want you to achieve health first. So anything below your upper waist circumference is just going to be a bonus to your fat loss. Now, keeping in mind with women in particular, the lower you go in body fat, again, the more potential issues may arise, especially with the menstrual cycle. You may need to be slightly higher than the recommended number. You may even need to be slightly lower. So you just take this as it comes. Now, to make this even easier, what I'm going to do in the description below is I'm going to include a calculator that you can download. All you need to do is plug in your details, your height and your waist, and it's going to give you your recommended targets so you don't have to do all the hard mathematics. Some of the other benefits on focusing on a waist-centric approach is you no longer need to worry about the scale. If the scale was to go up or was to go down, as long as your waist measurements continue to decrease, you're heading in the right direction. You don't need to change anything about your current plan or your diet. Also to note that we only want to become physically a smaller person. So if the scale doesn't budge and your measurements continue to come down, that's perfect. That means you are physically becoming leaner and smaller. Now, just to add on top of that, this also gives you a very specific target that is achievable relative to your height. So if your friend is an extra 6 inches taller than you, they're allowed to have a slightly larger waist. If you're a smaller person, then you get to have a smaller waist. It's always going to be relative to you and your height. So after you've done the math, let me know in the comments below, how tall are you and what are your waist targets and how close are you to achieving that? A good achievable amount of waist loss per week is anywhere from about 0.5 to 1 centimeter. Now, if you got a lot of value out of this video, make sure you hit that like button. It really does help me with the YouTube algorithm and reach more people and help more people just like you get easy, better, faster results. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.